So students, in the previous class, we had completed the chapter, and that is chapter 7. And in that chapter, student, we were discussing about getting to know the plants. Getting to know the plants, what does that mean? It means that how much familiar with the plant we are. It means what are the different parts of the plant, and the parts of the plant, what is its role in the in performing the function or in helping the plant to survive. Okay, so in that, students, we had discussed the different parts of the plant. The different parts, which includes the roots, which includes the stem, the leaves, as well as the flower and the fruits and the seeds. Last time we discussed about the flower, students, and the fruits. So you see, the fruits are what? Basically, fruit and seeds is formed after fertilization. Fertilization is what? It is the joining together of the male sex cells to that of the female sex cells. Okay, when both of them join together, then the fertilization process occur, and then the ovule, it get converted into the seeds, and the ovary, it get converted into the fruit. Okay, so fruit and the formation of the seed occurs, students, after the fertilization only. When the fertilization occur, and only then the formation of the fruit and the seed occur. And now you are knowing that what is the importance of the seed. It is the seed only which is responsible for the giving the growth of the new plants. Okay, the seeds only help in producing the root as well as the shoot of the plant. Okay, so we can say that seed is very important for the growth of, for maintaining the continuity of different plants. And that is why we can say that the process of fertilization is also very important. Now, before fertilization, there is another process occur. That is known as pollination. And what is pollination? The transfer of the pollen grain from that of the male reproductive part to that of the female on the stigma. It means we can say the transfer of pollen from the anther of the stamen to the stigma of the pistil, that is known as pollination. Now, the process of a pollination, it can be done either with the help of insect, or with that of the wind, or with that of the water. So, medium can be anything. Ultimately, the pollen should reach to the stigma. This is the main motto for the pollination. Only then the process of a fertilization can take place afterwards. Because you are knowing, from the stigma, pollen goes to the style. From the style, it reaches to the ovary. And this will happen only when the pollen reaches to the stigma. So we can say that the transfer of the pollen grains, the transfer of the pollen from the anther to the stigma is pollination. That is the first process or the prior process of the fertilization. And the next step is the fertilization process. And how it will remain present on the stigma? It is because of the sticky substance present on the stigma makes the pollen grains to remain stick to the flower, and thus only we can say that process of pollination can take place easily. Okay. So let us move forward, and the chapter is over now. So we will start with the new chapter, and that new chapter is the body movement. Body movement. The term is body movement. Okay, so how the movement occur in the body? We can also say like that. The chapter name is body movement. It means how our body shows the movement. Okay, so first of all, we should understand the meaning of the movement. And there is another word which is very much related to the movement, that is locomotion. So generally we use the term that locomotion is locomotives. You have heard about it. Locomotives we use for the vehicles. Okay, that is used to change the place. That used to move. Okay, so it is changing the place from one place to another. So we use the term for as locomotive. Okay, human being, animals, they all are locomotives. So most of the time the people, they are not knowing the difference between the locomotion and movement. They thought that the movement is the locomotion only. But it is not like that, students. Science does not say the movement is the locomotion. There is a difference between that of the locomotion and movement. Let me, before we go and try to understand the movement, let me tell you one thing, that if we talk about the locomotion and movement, we can say locomotion is movement, but movement is not locomotion. So this is the statement that locomotion includes movement, but movement does not includes locomotion. Okay, movement, it does not include the locomotion. Now, this statement will be clear to us only when we understand the definition of the locomotion and that of the movement. Only then we will be able to understand the difference between these two. So first of all, let me tell you that what is locomotion. Locomotion is what, student? Locomotion is the ability of an object to show the movement in its body. Ability of an object to show the movement in the body, and that movement occur from one place to another place. That is what? That is locomotion. Okay, let me write the definition. The ability of, here we are writing human being, you can write animals also, doesn't matter. Ability of an organism, to show movement. To show movement. Ability of an organism to show movement from one place to another place. One place to another place, that ability of an organism to show the movement, that is known as the locomotion, students. Movement of an organism from one place to another, that is known as the locomotion. Okay. Now, we can also say that movement of any parts of the body. Moving of any part of the body, that is known as movement. Locomotion is that which includes the movement from one place to another. I hope you have understood the difference between these two. Sometimes, students, you will see it is written that locomotion can be seen in two ways. We can also understand it like that locomotion can be seen by two ways. One, by moving the body parts, and another by showing the movement, by showing the change in the place, that is from one place to the another place. That is also what? That is also a locomotion. Okay, so we can say that locomotion is what? It is the ability of an organism by which the organism used to change its place. Here changing of the place occur. Place is changed by one organism to the other organism. That is what? That is the locomotion. And movement, the body part. Any of the body part is moving, we can call it the movement. You can understand by this. If suppose I am moving this. So here my hand is moving. Okay, I am continuously moving my hand. So here I am moving my hand. Okay, my eyes are blinking. This is what? This is also kind of a movement. My fingers continuously moving while explaining you people. That is what? That is the movement. So I am standing at a place and I am moving my hand. This is also a movement. This is the definition of the movement only, students. That is moving of the body part. But when it starts changing the place from here to the other place. So this is what I am moving, but I am changing the place. So this is the difference. Here I am standing at a place and I am moving one of my body part, but the another time I am continuously moving from this portion to the other. This is locomotion. So locomotion is the movement, but there the person changes the place from one place to the another. That is locomotion. A movement, here there is no such kind of a locomotion is shown, but the movement of one of the body part occurs. That's why it is called as the movement. Okay, so this is the difference between the locomotion and the movement. We can also write it human being shows two types of movement. Human being, they shows two types of movement. One movement is there, movement of the body parts like mouth, legs, mouth is there, legs, head, then backbone, arms, backbone is there, arms is there, legs, foot, etc. Okay, so if such kind of a movement occur in which the movement is occurring of a particular part of the body, that is also a kind of a movement, but we will define it as only the movement, student. The second kind of a movement which occurs is movement of the whole body part. Which occurs from one place to another. Okay, so movement of the whole body part occur from one place to another. Such kind of a movement is known as the locomotion. So by the students you have understood that locomotion is what? It is a movement only. Okay, so it can be movement of one of the body part or the whole body part get transferred. But when we talk about only the movement which does not include the locomotion, here only the one of the body part is moving. So that is why we can say that locomotion, it includes the movement, but movement does not include the locomotion. Okay. Now let us move to the next one, and that is skeleton. Try to understand the term that is skeleton. Skeleton is what, student? It is the hard structure which is present inside our body, that is known as skeleton. A hard structure is there which gives a framework to our body, that is known as skeleton. So let us write the definition. The hard structure present inside the body, our body, are the bones and the bony framework the bone framework inside our body is called skeleton. Bony framework inside our body is called skeleton. Okay, so you see students, it is written here that the heart structure which is present inside our body are the bones, and the bony framework inside our body is called skeleton. When you see the human body, students, so this human body basically made up of a very hard substance. And that hard substance which is present inside our body, we call that term for it, that is bones. You know that bones are very hardest substance which is present in the body. And you see students, these bones, they used to join together. Okay, and after joining together, they form a framework. If you are saying a bony framework, it means they give a shape. By joining together, they form a structure, they form a frame. Okay, that structure will ultimately help in making the skeleton. We called it, if suppose our head is there, so head is also having a bones, legs are also having bones, hand is also having bones, our chest, our backbone is there, hip bone is there. So all these bones, they join together and they form a structure, they form a frame, and that bony framework is known as a skeleton. So whenever the question is asked that what do you understand by the skeleton, you will always write that skeleton is that bony framework which is present in our body, and ultimately it will, you can say that it will help in giving strength to the body. Okay, because the bones, they are very hard, and if they are hard, it means they are there to support us, they are there to give strength to us. Okay, so the hard structure present inside the body called bones, and these bones, they join together and form a framework called skeleton. Now if you look at that of the human being, students, so in human being, what you have observed, where is this skeleton present? This skeleton is present inside the body. Okay, and if it is present inside the body, we use the term for it, that is endoskeleton. So we can say that in human being, the bones, or instead of that bones, bony framework or skeleton. The best term that we can use is the skeleton. So in human being, the bones or the skeletons, we can say, is present inside our body. Okay, it is present inside our body, and since it is present inside our body, we use a term for it, that is endoskeleton. So we can say, thus it is known as endoskeleton. What is endoskeleton? The skeleton which is present inside the body, that is known as the endoskeleton. Okay, now if I say that the bony framework, so these bony framework means what? The bones, they join together, they hold together so that they provide a proper structure as well as they help in giving support to the body. Okay, so we can write it. Okay, so we can write it, that is the bones of the skeleton provides a framework. What is the role of this bony framework? Hold the body. So basically its role is to holding the body. Okay, so we can say that the bony framework, its role is to hold the body. Okay, next thing that you can understand, students, that not only it help in holding the body, but this framework help in giving a proper shape, proper structure to the body. So we can write it, that is next point, the bones helps in providing shape to the body. Shape to the body. Okay, so it helps in providing the shape to that of the body. Now, if we talk about the skeleton, students, so if we are saying that the bones help in providing the shape, if you look at the shape of your head, if you look at the shape of your skeleton, if you look at the shape of your hand or your legs or your hip bone, so you see, students, all these body parts consisting of bones, and the bones are of different shape. Hip bone is of different shape, skull is of different shape, forelimb is of different shape, our rib cage or our backbone is of a different shape. So ultimately, these bones are providing shape to us. So different shape of bones, they join together to form a skeleton, and thus we can say that our body consisting of a different shapes of the bone. So we can write it, the skeleton, the human skeleton is made up of different shape, even the size also. Different shapes and size, because you see, student, if we talk the bones which is present in our ear is considered to be the smallest one. Okay, and the bone which is present in our thigh is considered to be the longest one. So you can understand that one is smallest, one is longest. So both of them are having different size. So on that basis we can say that it not only helps in providing the shape, means the skeleton is not only made up of a different shape of the bone, but they are of different sizes. Okay, so we can write made up of a different shape. Skeleton is made up of a different shape and sizes of bones joined together. Okay, so these bones, they used to join together, and these bones are of different shape, different sizes, help in forming the framework, help in forming the human skeleton. Okay, now see. Now, is it possible to see your bones? Means for a living person, if a living body is there, so is it possible to see your bone? Because you know that if you look at our body, you will see that the outer portion of our body is a muscle. So how we come to know that it is made up of a bone, or if got fractured or anything, so how we come to know that our bones get damaged? Okay, so for that what we used to do? We used to do the X-ray. And X-ray image is what? X-ray image help in giving the image of our bones. So we can say that X-ray is that method by which we are able to see the images of our bones. So we can write it. It is the X-ray only, student, by which we are able to see that what are the different shape and sizes of the different bones which is present in a human skeleton. Okay, so now see here, we can write it, that is X-ray images helps us to see the bones. This method shows that our bones are of different shape and size. Our bones different shape and of different size. This various size of bones and various size of bones are present which join together to form the skeleton. So we can also write it like the method shows our bones are of various shapes and sizes. So if we are talking about that we are having different shape and different sizes of the bone, so how we come to know about it, student? With the help of the X-ray method. By doing the X-ray, the images that we got from the X-ray method, we find that actually the bones which is present in our body which make the human skeleton is of a different shape, not only of a different shape but of a different sizes also. And with the help of that only, student, we came to know that there are 206 bones are present in the human. Okay, so you can understand that these 206 bones, they combine together to form the human skeleton. So there are 206 bones, 206 bones in the human skeleton. Okay. Now, we are saying that the bones, they are connected with each other. They are joined together. Okay. So, you see, students, that these are joined together. Okay, like your hand is there, your forelimbs we called it. This forelimb is connected to your shoulder and this is connected to the shoulder bone, to the collar bone by, we can say that with the help of a joints. Okay, so if the two bones, they join together, that portion where they join together is known as joints. Okay, so they join together at the joint. So we can say, now it is possible either to move your hand from your shoulder. Yes, we are able to move this hand, okay, from your shoulder. So here we are saying the joint is there by which we can move. You see, student, there is also a joint which is present at the back of your neck which connect your head to that of your backbone, skull to that of the backbone. And because of that, you are able to move your head. Okay, not only this, if you look at your hand, your elbow is there, students, and your elbow and your the upper limb is connected together at a joint, and because of that you are able to move your hand also. So we can say that there are movable joints which is present in the human skeleton, and because of that we are able to move our body parts. Because what will happen, if there will be no joints, we are not able to move our body part. If you look at your forearm, students, so if you see the upper portion of your arm, you will find that in between you are not able to move it. Is it possible to move your hand from the middle portion of the upper arm? No, you cannot do that. Okay, it is because there is no joint present, but it is very easy to move your wrist because it is joined together with a joint here. Okay, we are able to move our finger because there are joints which make it to move easily. Okay, so we can say that there are a lot of movable joints between various bones which makes the different body parts to move easily. We can write it. Our skeleton has movable joints. Our skeleton has movable joints between various bones. Between various bones. And these bones, the muscles also to move our head, Our shoulder, students, we can move our shoulder. Hand and legs. Hand here, we can use the another term for it, that is arms. Okay, arms, legs and other body parts. Okay, so we can say that we are able to move our body, move our bones, our body through that of the muscles, because of the joints present. The bones are joined together at the joint. Okay.